Welcome on in to the Daily Pulse podcast. I'm your host, Connor Dapp. With me, I have Mason Ingram and Carson Moyer and special guest, Cindy Nguyen. Cindy is an admissions counselor here at Winona State University. And we just have a couple questions for you, Cindy, about what goes on in the admissions recruiting process.
Yeah, so what does it mean to be an admissions counselor?
That's a really good question. So I think what it means to be an admissions counselor is to be a source of information and support for prospective students. Obviously, deciding what you want to do after high school is a big decision, so I'm glad that I can be a helpful resource to help guide students through the next steps in their lives.
Okay. Yeah, so can you tell us a little bit about what goes on when you travel for these admissions events?
Yeah, so travel for my job consists of visiting high schools and attending college fairs and events. I regularly travel to the Twin Cities about twice a week for recruitment, so I hit the road at about 6 a.m., then I get to my first high school around 8 or 9. I usually visit around 3 schools a day, and then I head back to Winona. During my visits, I usually meet with prospective students and counselors to provide information about Winona State and our admissions policies.
So meeting with prospective students and the other ones that you said, what are some of the main goals that you're trying to accomplish when you're at these high schools?
Yeah, so my main goals, I typically travel to high schools throughout Minnesota to build and foster connections with prospective students and counselors. So my ultimate goal is to help students and guide them through the next steps in their admissions process, whether it's applying, visiting campus, or providing more information about Winona State and the programs that we offer.
So for incoming admissions counselors, what are some of the biggest challenges that you'd recommend they watch out for when they're coming into that?
So advice that I would give to any incoming admissions counselors is just learn how to manage your time efficiently, and be sure to take time for yourself as well. This job can burn you out if you don't take time for yourself. So those are the two pieces of advice that I would give.
Okay. And there's got to be some good parts. So what is your favorite part about being the admissions counselor and the traveling aspects to it too?
Yeah, my favorite part of being an admissions counselor is being able to represent Winona State. I also enjoy making connections with prospective students, and I really enjoy the travel because I like the drive, and they also pay for my food and hotels.
Well, that sounds pretty nice. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Cindy. Mason, do you have any further questions for Cindy while we still got her?
I do not, but thank you for your time with us here on the Daily Pulse podcast. I'm going to send it back to you, Connor.
Well, Mason, you already, pretty much took care of it, but that'll do it from us here at the Daily Pulse podcast. If you want to learn more about what it means to be an admissions counselor, take a look at our article on thedailypulse.com. Also, a video that we did with Jordan Lindgren, another admissions counselor here at Winona State University. Thank you very much for your time, and we will see you next week.